Jesus, son. Why's your voice so deep? You're 5 years old.
I learned this watching you.
Oh, shit. I'm such a bad parent.
Smoking destroys families, people.
Yes, don't
and
do it.
voices. And doing voices as a smoker destroys voices. So you know what?
It actually didn't hurt. I'm not going to do that again.
Okay. So I was promised to tell a story about the genius system my parents set up when I was a lad.
Do tell.
To restrict my video game usage. So I remember it very clearly. They had a meeting where they kind of laid out the law. I shit you not, they had commandments. Yeah. We had like a family meeting.
A family meeting.
They had a piece of paper with these rules, and what it was was that base rule was that we got I think it was 30 minutes to use to play video games or watch TV in whatever allotment we wanted. So we could do it 10 minutes at a time, we could do it 30 minutes at a time, however we wanted, but once it was used up, that was the end of the day. The ingenious part was the exceptions to this rule. Like, for one thing, if my brother and I each used 10 minutes of our time, we could play for 20 minutes, which meant that pretty much we only played video games together, which was a great way to prevent us from, smothering each other in our sleep, because I needed him for that extra 10 minutes of video game playing. Like, if he dies, I'm down to 30 minutes instead of a full hour. So that also led to weird things where, like, as I got older and was able to play like teen and M-rated games or whatever, I would try to, like, most kids are annoyed when their younger sibling gets to do things before they could, like when they get to watch it. But like, I fought for my brother's ability to do that because I really wanted him to play these games with me. And I mean, he's a pleasant guy. I enjoy playing games with him, but it was just for his time. I just really wanted to use him for his video game time.
That's funny.
Yeah. And also things like when my parents went to bed, it was unlimited time, which basically guaranteed that we wouldn't get into trouble because as soon as they went to sleep, we just went in the basement and played video games all night. Oh, they knew. Like, this was like a conscious exception that they set up. So it was like brilliant.
Wow.
Like,
is it like one of those things where like we'll let you do it if we just never talk about the fact that we allow you to
no,
play
no,
games?
it's totally like they're like, we're going to bed, free video game time.
Oh, jeez. They just don't want to watch you sin.
Yeah. Well, yeah, again, I feel like it was less them actually being afraid of our video game consumption and more like a bizarre social engineering kind of experiment.
Height bonus!
You beat the level.
Yay. Oh, by the way, I took over.
Yeah, the Beth was playing. I was too busy reminiscing about my exploitative practices towards my sibling.
Rio is coming.
What?
Rio, the boss.
Rio is coming.
Shit.
Yeah,
Stretch sprites.
I'll never forget when when I turned 16, that's when my parents allowed me to have a cell phone. I didn't have a cell phone until I was 16. And guess what happened when I turned 16 and got a cell phone?
What happened?
My younger sister, at 14, got a cell phone. Do you know how upset I was?
Oh,
Pretty
Whittler,
upsetting.
She always got more, like, the same thing I did, but 2 years earlier.
Everyone has that. Every older sibling has that problem.
Yeah.
Wow, how do I not?
How do you know?
How do I not? This is hard.
Do you know how I eventually got a cell phone?
How?
My parents lost me after band practice in high school. And they're like, you should be able to call us. Because we were basically chasing each other in circles around the parking lot, and then I think they left because they assumed I had got another ride, but I hadn't. And I had no way of talking to them, so I was just kind of like, well, everyone's gone now.
Yeah.
This is an empty high school parking lot.
That's funny. The reason I got a cell phone was because I was going on a band trip to Florida. So same thing. We both got cell phones because
me
of
too.
band.
Reason,
Shit.
Mine wasn't band, mine was choir. I went to
So same thing, we're
New
dorks.
York on a trip, choir trip. My parents were like, we need to make sure that you're not doing bad things.
Is that what cell phones do? They alert you whenever you're doing bad things?
And it's ended up that they do the opposite. They allow you to do worse things than you were doing before you had the cell phone.
They open the
Snapchat,
door.
Come on.
Well, we're talking about year 2006 here.
Yeah.
Where that wasn't a thing. Like
was a more innocent time.
first cell phone did not. It like took pictures and video, but it was the worst quality on the face of the earth.
I love those pictures. Not of you, but the ones that I would take.
Not of me, yeah, because mine were ugly.
Yeah. It actually makes me think, because if I ever have a kid, like, am I gonna have to like go through his internet history, his or her internet history routinely?
We had to talk about that the other day. Was it like just like what our parents used to do to us?
Yeah, because I feel like in the past, if your kid was a bully, like, chances are he was making maybe a handful of kids miserable at school, and you would know, and you can lock that shit down.
Right.
But now, like, your kid has a bad day and decides to just do some shit on the internet, like, you would never know, and they can cause so much more damage now.
Yeah, unfortunately,
it's
the internet,
nuts.
internet's
It's
pretty
crazy.
awful place. Awful
like,
good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they could do nice things too if they want, I guess.
They could,
Like you go in their history and you find out they're really into charity and kickstarting projects that put that gleam of imagination in their eyes.
Girls.
Yeah.
Like they're just like so positive.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my son's a positive person.
I hope so.
We've all been shits on the internet, though.
Oh, sure.
You have to mature when you're using social media and stuff like that. Louis C.K. has a really good bit about kids and the internet and bullying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where he talks about kids. What happens is when you're a dick to people in real life.
Yeah.
Hello, Jewel.
Oh,
We're underwater.
That happens.
When you're a dick to people in real life, you like see them be offended by what you say, and you go, "Oh, that doesn't feel good."
Yeah, there's
I don't
reciprocity.
want to be mean.
Yeah.
Exactly. But if you do it online, you just say a dick thing, and then you go, "Oh, that's
You just
funny."
go,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. And you go along your day because you don't see the repercussions of it.
Yeah, not to make this a quote other media that we've seen about this topic play.
Hello, Fish.
But there was an interesting, I think it was This American Life. Let me just flash my liberal public radio listener card right now.
We all do it.
But there was an interesting thing where they had, I think, an editor of Jezebel, I think, which whatever you want to say about the site, she confronted
garbage.
one of her worst like internet trolls in person.
Yeah.
And the guy was totally repentant. He's like, I was going through a really dark time in my life.
Most internet trolls are like that.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Most, they just want attention. They just
Yeah.
want you to acknowledge them, and this is the only way that they know how to get that.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's a narrative
Kids
I really
are like that too.
Yeah, that's a narrative I really want to believe because it's way easier for me to accept that people be miserable because they are miserable than to accept that there are some people who just really love to just cause pain and destruction. And
I used to like doing that in Counter-Strike.
Cause pain and destruction.
well, that's the name of the game in
like-
Oh my
Counter-Strike.
god,
Yeah.
I hate this fish. I hate
That's
this
the-
fish. I hate this fish.
That's the subtitle,
It was-
right? Counter-Strike, pain and
Counter-Strike
destruction.
pain, yeah. No, like when I'd go into servers randomly and if Friendly Fire would be on and my team we'd start playing, I'd play a couple rounds, I'd play the normal guy, the normal
is so hard.
counter-terrorist, and then all of a sudden I would just start
You're the
team
sleeper agent.
killing.
You're activated.
I would just like randomly just start team killing and then or like I would slowly do it, like I'd peck away and people would be like, who did that? And then they'd see it was me. And then they weren't sure how to feel about me, and I would just sit there like giggling, like, yeah, he doesn't know it was me, but he did know it was me. And then eventually I'd like team kill
Yeah.
somebody, and so I was that person, but also I wasn't a happy guy. I was going through some tough times.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Yeah, you talked about that. That's
did.
another thing, like creating content and media and humor when you're in really bad life places.
Sometimes it's good. I had a
Really
funny channel.
Yeah, like in that Whiplash
in that time.
movie. They cut out the
see it.
part where he went on the internet and channeled his rage at J.K. Simmons into
Oh,
a bunch
really?
of angry message board posts
Oh, no.
on drums.com.
Drums.com.
Yeah. What is this, a snare? I snared your mom last night.
Oh, I hate that kid now.
Yeah,
Supposed to sympathize with him. That's why they cut that scene out.
that's why they got that
Yeah.
scene out. They're like, this is too much.
Yeah.
He's scarier than J.K. Simmons now. Top believer.
The water's going down.
Water levels. Can you think of a good water level?
Sonic 1.
Really, those gave me panic attacks.
That's a good water level. Yeah.
Like, great.
And
It's,
then, but then when you get the
That's true.
bubble, it's like, whoop,
Well,
whoop,
the
and
water
you're so
level in
happy.
Sonic isn't actually a water level. It's more like a normal level, just with the guise of water being around you.
That's true. It changes again the air thing, which is
Echo
like-
the dolphin,
Echo the Dolphin was an entirely water.
I was gonna say that's a water level. Okay,
Like
so
that
I'm
whole
gonna
thing.
and it was great.
for the purpose of this discussion, I'm gonna say a water level is a level that changes the nature of the gameplay in again like mobility terms, like
Star
it changes
Fox.
the way.
This isn't too bad.
You know what?
Star
You're
Fox's
right.
water level was really
the Star
scary.
Fox water level was
but it
actually
good.
really cool.
Yeah.
Except it caused the frame rate to go to shit.
It did, but it
Like-
was also very scary
come I
because it
don't
was so
remember
dark.
Yeah.
Because it was like it was a special route that you'd have to do like
Yeah.
really special
Oh.
things to get
Certain
to.
amount of points on
Shut your mouth.
whatever that one.
Not Corneria, but it's like it might be the first level. You take the alternate route.
No, that's how you go to Y, but there's another one. You have to get a certain number of points. It was, shoot. There was another one where you're attacking a battleship. No, you're right, it was Sector Y. If you get a certain amount of points in Sector Y,
Yeah.
you go to
Like the
the water
third level?
I think so. No, Corneria, Sector Y, depending on how you do it,
Yeah.
Matt,
Oh
you
my
either go
gosh,
to Help
you guys
Bill
are
or you go
nerds.
to... Yeah.
Listen,
Oh,
that
also,
game is
you're-
awesome.
Are you fighting another boss now?
I'm fighting a wave.
It's like a mini
shit.
boss.
You're fighting global warming.
And I'm gonna lose.
This is the face of global warming.
Dead fish.
Dead
Dead
fish
fish.
flopping around.
And Atlantis in the background. Is that the Mayans?
Yeah, this one thing's for sure. This
hey,
ain't
hey.
Oh, yeah,
California.
I'm sorry for calling you guys nerds. You can keep talking about
About to start a completely different game.
Oh, look how sad they are.
Oh no! Don't do. Oh.
well,
Well, glad that's over with. Filled my quota for fish murder.
Yeah.
Guess I'll swing on a pole. This is how I do. I'm Starmie, bitches.
And that's how we're gonna end this
Height bonus.
episode.
Height bonus.
A height bonus of 200.